Welcome to another episode of the Contagious Culture podcast. I'm your host, Kyle King. And the goal of this podcast is to help you create an ecosystem of academic excellence. For the last few weeks, I've gotten plenty of questions on this development process, fundraising, relationship building, how to make more money, how to sales, all of these different things. But one of the questions that really stuck out to me is, Kyle, you continue to talk about this development team and people. Who are the people that actually should be on this team? And most times we believe that this should be a volunteer organization and that there's not really a science to recruiting specific individuals and placing them on this team methodically so that we can actually empower them to create results within our organization based upon what we're trying to do. One of the things that I learned here more recently is that great leaders are able to optimize and motivate people and their environments. I truly believe it's the same thing with great teams. If we're able to have the right people on the right team, under the right mission, in the right time, producing the right set of results, then you will be able to experience something in your school that will transform students, empower communities, and ultimately change our world. There's 7 people that I believe are critical to any development team. And I don't care if you have 7 people on your team that have 40 years of development experience individually. It doesn't matter if you have the leader that just raised $40 million or all of these various people. I also believe that just because you're a principal or a board member or hold a title doesn't give you the right to be on this team based upon the framework that we have perfected here at the Culture Lab. So I want you to prepare your notes, and we've developed a downloadable and a takeaway for you to be able to assess your team compared to what we're going to allow you to have to see who's missing and potentially some interview questions that you can ask so that you can have the best opportunity when you're engaging with people as you're recruiting them to your team. All right, let's get to it. The first person that I believe is paramount on your team is the community builder, engager, or the relationship builder. Who this person is someone that can go out in the community that is not scared to build relationships, that is not scared to connect, nurture relationships, meet new people, and communicate just with what you guys are doing as an organization. I am that person on the team. I am the person that can go off at any restaurant, any event, any venue, meet people, identify ways to connect with that individual, whether it's the shirt that they're wearing or a necklace pendant or a tattoo that they may have, and find a way to connect with that individual and then build a relationship through building rapport, connect, converse, and be able to bring them into whether it's that school or whatever it is, the initiative that I'm leading at that time, to be able to move them along as a part of our process. That is something that I've always been gifted in. That is something that anybody who knows me personally or professionally, that they've seen me do in real time. And that's where I would probably land on the team. Now, I would probably be between a few of these, but if you're not that person and you don't currently have that person on your team, then you need to be that person or recruit that person to your team. Now, a lot of times what I see is development teams only recruit that person. And there's a whole bunch of people on here that want to go out and connect with people and connect. But if we don't have this next person, then all of this connection will mean nothing. The second person that you need on your team is a strategic planner. Now, I would not necessarily say that has been my strongest area in regards to successfully planning and designing fundraising strategic, alliances and setting goals. I am the let's execute and let's figure it out on the way. But that's why at the Culture Lab, we've been able to recruit and hire experts around us that are strategic thinkers and strategic planners. You need someone on your team that can think 3 to 5 steps ahead, that is really strong in risk analysis, that can look at numbers, that can understand what is the mission, what is the goal, that they may not be a huge thinker, but they're someone that can bring everything together, organize it in a methodical way, and be able to produce results. Okay. Now, number 3 is a key role as well. Now that we have someone that's going out and connecting, now that we have the strategic planner, you now need your storyteller. And this is someone that is an expert in their ability to craft narratives. They have a strong ability to be able to communicate the school's mission, vision, values, what the school has done, what the school has stood for. Usually this person probably would need to be a parent or alumni of the school, or potentially a board member because they've been with the school a period of time. This would probably not be a new parent. This is someone that's been in your system for a period of time, that is engaged, that has testimonials, that has a lot of positive things to say about the school, and someone that can truly craft and share the message publicly, whether it's through actually writing the message or being able to vocalize it publicly as well. So this would be the person, if you were having one of those community partner open houses, that can get up and stand in front of a group of people and talk about their experience at the school from a firsthand experience. Okay. So number 1 was our community engager. Number 2 is our strategic thinker or strategic planner. Number 3 is our storyteller. And once we have the story, once we have the plan, and once we have the connector, now it's time to have our designer. Every team has to have a designer. I have one in my back pocket at all times, someone that can come in, can see the story, what we're going, can see the plan, and this person can design. They can create pamphlets. They can create targeted timelines. They can create collateral or assets. They can create all of the digital graphics that for advertisement. This is the person that is the creative on the team. They don't want to go out in the community. They don't want to be on stage telling the story, but they will develop the slide campaign. They will develop the pitch deck. They will develop the one-pagers. They will develop the logos. They will develop all of these initiatives from a graphic standpoint that will be facing documents or facing collateral or assets for the initiatives as a part of this development process. So again, we have our community engager, the person that says, look, I'm going to go out there and connect, engage, and relationship build. We have our strategic thinker, our strategic planner. This is the person that says, all right, when you're engaging, it needs to be looking like this. We have our storyteller, the person that says, well, when you're engaging, it needs to sound like this, and this is the story. We have our designer. Okay, when you go out there and you engage, you need to have this that shares the stories or shares the points. And then now, once we're doing this as a team, the next person, who is also critical, is our data manager. This is the person that maybe doesn't want to be out there. They don't design at all, but they love to crunch numbers. They love to analyze. They love to organize donor information. They want to be able to see where we are in the donor process. This person may be in your biweekly or monthly meetings. They're sharing where we are. All right, 60% of our emails are being read. 30% are coming from this. Here's the traction or conversion on our website. Here's how many people are opening our emails. Here's how much dollars we've been able to receive. And that person is working with the designer, as well as the strategic planner, as well as the storyteller, to continue to share the message. So based upon the work that we're doing, the data manager is pulling everything together and be able to analyze and work with the planner so that we can be able to use this data as a part of our initiatives. And as a part of the transparency and communication piece, The storyteller is being able to craft that message. All right. So we have our engager, our planner, our storyteller, our designer, our data manager, and now number 6, which everyone wants to do. Now, everyone wants to do this, but everyone just isn't good at this. Okay. And I understand there's a difference between doing this and doing this with excellence. All right. And creating an experience. This is our person that plans events, our event planner. And I know you know the person that invites you to places and it's an amazing experience with food, with hors d'oeuvres, with, potential wine and all of these various things versus the person that just slaps things together, puts something on Eventbrite or a flyer and just invites people over. It's BYOB. It's bring your own food, bring your own everything, bring your own TV and Wi-Fi and hotspot with you. We don't want that person. We want the person that is the event planner that creates memorable experiences. And I say experiences, not just events. You want someone that is thinking methodically of every single thing down to the minute that's going to happen when those donors or when those volunteers or when those investors or when those parents are stepping into the various events that you all are planning as a school and as an organization. This is the person that's thinking through the itinerary, but down to, all right, when people walk in, how are they going to feel? How are they going to engage? What are they going to see? What's the music that's going to be playing? What food would align with this specific event? What playlist do we need to have? How are we going to follow up with these individuals? What collateral do we need on the walls? What's going to entice people to donate? What does the presentation need to look like? What are the types of things that are happening within the presentation that we need to plan for? How can we ensure that we start on time and end on time? When we're giving these people a tour of our facility, what is the proper way that we need to give the tour so that they can maximize the experience? Who are the people that we need to integrate within this itinerary so that it can showcase the best version of our school? Who are the individuals that need to support? Who are the people that we're going to contract with to be able to enhance this experience? All of those things matter. And if you're not thinking of all of those things, that may not be your zone of genius. Now, I think about that. And that's why I said at the beginning of this podcast episode that I would probably be in the mix of this last one that I haven't mentioned, the event coordinator to be able to create memorable experiences, and the community engager, and with a mix of strategic planning. All right. Now, this last person, in my opinion, is the most important person. Now, that's not saying that everyone else is least important. That's not saying that only with this person the team will survive. That's saying that this last person is critical to the success of this development team. Because I believe with all of these people, it will be successful. But with this last person, it will be success in a way that is truly scalable, that is truly memorable, and something that your team will truly be proud of. This last person is not the community engager. It's not the strategic planner. It's not the storyteller. It's not the designer. It's not the data manager or the event planner. The last person of your developmental team that is most important is your leader. Who is the person that can understand all of these various aspects of this puzzle, but be able to motivate, encourage, educate, and be able to share a vision to the point where everyone can get behind that vision? This is the person that organizes the meetings, builds out these specific plans for these meetings and the agendas. This is the person that has check-ins one-on-one with each individual member of the team. This one is the one that leads the meetings. This is the one that listens, takes notes, provides feedback, grows the team through optimizing and motivating people to create the best possible environment. Someone that can lead people, knows the vision, and can motivate them to the best of their abilities. This is the person that understands the why, understands the purpose of the organization, understands where the organization is going, understands the problems that we're solving, understands how to still tell that story, understands how to still connect with individuals, understands how to review and look at data, understands the approach to design, understands how to get up in front of a group of individuals and remain professional, personable, but be able to have a strong close that is confident, competent, and clear. The leader is critical in the success or the success of the team, because there is no failure when we're approaching this work. Who are you in this process? Are you the community engager that likes to connect with people? Are you the strategic planner that likes to just think through all of the various ways that we can accomplish these goals? Are you the designer that wants to just sit back and design and create amazing images and collateral? Or are you the storyteller that just wants to tell the story and craft narratives? Are you the data manager that just wants to track, analyze, and optimize donor information and where we are in this process? Or are you the event planner that wants to be able to create memorable experiences, not just from the event standpoint, but from everything that we do as a part of this donor journey mapping process? Or do you have the privilege of being the leader? Do you have the privilege of being able to be contagious so that you can spread positivity, motivation, encouragement, empowerment to your team? Now, as you think of what you are, I want you to look at your team. What is our team missing? Are we missing someone that really just wants to connect, or are we missing the person that wants to analyze data? Are we missing the person that has relationships already existing in the community? Or are we missing the person that designs high quality graphics or can edit high quality videos? Are we missing our storyteller, whether it's that parent or that student or that alumni or just the person that's been bought in to what we're doing? A second piece to this puzzle, if we're missing something, why are we missing it? Do we have someone that knows about what we're doing as a development team and where we're going? Sometimes we have to unpack our needs in order for us to be able to impact our communities. We have to unpack and communicate to our stakeholders that, hey, we need this. This is the expectation. This is the standard. This is where we're going. Do you have time and capacity to be able to contribute to this team so that we can be able to accomplish these goals? As you think through these 7 elements, as you think through these 7 skill sets, these 7 critical pieces to your team, I don't want you to just think about what you're lacking. I want you to think about where you're excelling. I want you to think about what you need. And when you think about what you need and how to go out there and get what you need from a resources standpoint and from a team development standpoint, I want you to reach out to the Culture Lab. Download the downloadable below and then schedule some time with our team so that we can walk you through this process of assessing your team, assessing your strategy, and be able to walk you through this process of developing so that you can be able to hit your goals, your targets, and achieve for your students. My name is Kyle King, and this is another episode of the Contagious Culture podcast. And we'll see you guys next week.